Hey, this is Jay from the Financial UA Service Office located here in Baltimore, Maryland. And I wanted to bring you a special video to help address something that's happening in our current time, something that's really important that affects all of our Financial UA members as well as every other member in 12-step recovery over the entire planet. There's a certain illness that's spreading across all the countries across the world. And because of YouTube policy, I'm not allowed to say the specific name of the illness, but what I am going to do is call the illness by a nickname. We're going to call it the cough. If you have developed the cough, I hope you are able to stay in good spirits. I hope you're able to get all the help you need to get better soon. If you're able to reach out for help, I want you to know that Financial UA is here to offer you spiritual help. Sometimes spiritual help can really help to keep hope alive, even when faced with other difficulties. If you have not caught the cough, but you find yourself affected by it in the way that it has impacted the world and shut down most of civilized society, I want to offer you some really helpful strategies for dealing with the isolation that comes with social distancing. Now, I'm coming to you from the Financial UA General Service Office located in Baltimore, Maryland, and we have not yet been shut down in the same way many other businesses have across the country, across this state, and across the world. I also want to reassure you that the Financial UA program is completely available. All of our meetings, all of our workshops are being held actively and on schedule. So if you want to attend a meeting or workshop of Financial UA, you can depend on the fact that our meetings are going to be available to you and that all of our workshops are going to be available to you. And many of our members in recovery are going to be available to you if you need to do any kind of outreach. Now, understandably, this whole health crisis is creating a tremendous hardship for all people. It affects their ability to work. It affects small businesses. They're shutting down. People are being laid off. Many people are losing their jobs. And it is becoming difficult for some people to make ends meet. Some people, however, are still allowed to work. They are allowed to still keep their jobs. Unfortunately, the majority are not able to do so. Many states and countries are putting shelter-in-place orders in effect, or they're establishing lockdown protocols. This is making it really difficult, and this is happening in nearly every country across the planet. Every country is also encouraging social distancing, which basically means keeping distance between yourself and other people, usually 6 to 10 feet, or having a wall or a partition, or staying in your apartment or house and not going out and mingling with other people, because they understand that the cough that is going around is communicable. It is easy to spread it to other people, and it's important to keep enough distance between yourself and others so that nothing can be passed from one person to the other. The only thing we want to encourage you to pass is hope, to spread hope and spread recovery from person to person, not the cough. Now, with all this social distancing and self-quarantine policies and procedures that are going into effect, it's leading to another issue, which is isolation. And isolation is a really difficult thing for human beings to deal with, and it is most difficult for people in recovery to deal with. Now, understandably, this is a difficult time for regular people, but it is an even more challenging period of time for people in recovery. Most all 12-step face-to-face meetings have been shut down, so people are no longer able to meet each other in person to share recovery, to share experience, strength, and hope, and to have fellowship. However, many meetings have switched to video conference calls or telephone conference calls, so people are still able to connect with each other. It is a big adjustment, and it's an adjustment for everybody, and even more so, especially if you have a positive routine established with going to face-to-face meetings or maybe even seeing your sponsor every other day or so in a coffee shop. Well, we can't do things like that right now just for today. Everything has changed, and it is a time for people in recovery to get creative about how we can take care of ourselves. I want to offer you some ideas and some strategies about how you can use this downtime to get centered, to be serene, and to stay recovered. These techniques can help you maintain your serenity and support your spiritual self-care. During all this downtime, you have extra time to sit quietly with your higher power and do some prayer and meditation. It's a great time to reconnect with your higher power, whomever or whatever that may be for you. It's also a positive time to reconnect with your earning power. Again, the Financial UA program is a program first about helping you to connect with your higher power, and second, about helping you to channel that higher power in the form of earning power. You can spend some time journaling your thoughts and your feelings and writing about your thoughts and feelings in your prosperity notebook. You can also create a God box, and if you have any fears or concerns, which would be completely understandable given the things that are going out in the world, if you have fears or concerns one day at a time, you can write those down on a 3x5 index note card and then put those in your God box. You can also spend time with your earning power, asking your earning power in meditation to show you or inspire you to think of creative ways to be prosperous. Because even when there is chaos in the world, there is always opportunity for people who can offer solutions for other people's problems. So again, this is kind of one of those situations where if life hands you lemons, you can ask your higher power for a creative thought or idea, and maybe the idea is to take the lemons and turn them into lemonade to sell to other people. In AA, we used to have the phrase, if the world gives you potatoes, turn the potatoes into vodka and then sell it to the alcoholics. Now, it's kind of a messed up joke, but it illustrates this idea that every problem is an opportunity to find a solution. And every big problem can be broken up into a number of very small little problems. And if you can just come up with a creative solution to one tiny little small problem that trickles down from the big problem, if you can just solve one problem to help people deal with one area of their life better or more constructively or even in a more fun kind of way, you can find a way to be incredibly prosperous to offer that solution for other people's problems. With this downtime, you can also spend some of this time catching up on your step work. If you are engaged with doing the 12 steps in Financial UA or really any other program, you can spend this time writing your step work out. Maybe you need to do your 4th step. Well, you've got plenty of time to write your 4th step now, or any other step. You also, if you're working on your traditions, you have more time to do your assignments out of your traditions workbook in Financial UA, since Financial UA has a traditions workbook as well as a 12-step workbook. And I want to encourage you to stay watching to the end of this video because we have a special announcement regarding the 12-step workbook and the Financial UA traditions workbook. So stay to the end of the video to hear about that announcement. If you feel panicked about your financial situation, or if you have sudden changes in your job or cash flow, or your work status, I want to encourage you to consider arranging a pressure relief group or a pressure relief meeting. it might be pretty easy to set something like that up, since there are probably many other people in recovery who are also staying at home and might not have a lot to do. So this is an opportunity for them to do some service for you, and it's an opportunity for you to address some of your issues in a very prompt manner and to practice asking for help. If you feel overwhelmed or lonely, you can call up a friend in program and ask them to say the Serenity Prayer with you. Or if you want, you can ask a member of Financial UA to say the Prosperity Prayer with you. Sometimes just having a phone call and saying the prayer with another person does a tremendous amount spiritually to calm you down, to help you find your serenity, to help even you out, and to get you out of the space of panic so you can start thinking about solutions instead of obsessing about problems. If you're still allowed to work and you have steady cash flow, you might consider starting an envelope and on your envelope writing virus shutdown or zombie apocalypse, like this one here says zombie apocalypse. It's an envelope that represents a prudent reserve. And during this period of time where there's some uncertainty, it's a really good idea to have a prudent reserve of any type handy, because it's always good to have some extra money on hand in case certain businesses or something shuts down and you need a cash cushion. So on this envelope, you can write virus shutdown or zombie apocalypse or whatever you want, and you can start putting money in it as your prudent reserve. Remember, even if you just put spare change, all you need to do is put a penny in here. Any amount of money works to bring this envelope to life. And you can also take this downtime to clean your home or your apartment or your car. And any spare change you find lying around under your couch cushions, or maybe in your jacket pockets if you go through your clothes, or if you clean out your car, sometimes between your seat and the center arm console, down in that crack in between, there's often loose change that falls in there. Any spare change you find can go right into your zombie apocalypse envelope. So you can start saving with your emergency prudent reserve. If you feel like you're very overwhelmed, if you feel afraid, if you feel inhibited, or if you feel like you can't be productive during the downtime, you might consider, if you're not able to get things accomplished, you can arrange for an action meeting. Action meetings are designed to ask for help with getting two people who can hold you accountable to take actions that help you to be productive. You may also use this time to build a partnership with an action partner, or two, or three, or however many you need, or even prosperity partners. See, action partners are relationships that can help you to check in throughout the day. Having a regular connection with another person to say the prosperity prayer, or to bookend positive actions like doing your numbers, or even making your bed, washing the dishes, doing your laundry. All these are productive actions around which you can set up some accountability. You can commit these actions and turn them over to your action partner, and then check in and bookend and report which actions you got accomplished throughout the day. Now, most churches and social gathering places are shut down. It makes it very difficult to attend face-to-face meetings, since most meetings tend to be held in churches. So this is actually an opportunity to get creative. You might consider coordinating with another friend in recovery to do your grocery shopping together, especially if you live around the same area, if you're local to each other, since the food industries are still allowed to remain open while keeping a healthy distance. You can be with a friend and have a mini meeting while you push your shopping carts down the aisle. Maybe you can say the Serenity Prayer together. Maybe you can just check in with each other. But it's a way to go shopping and really just to be with another person doing an activity, since that environment is open to the public, to take advantage of it in a safe way to connect with other people who are nearby, other people in recovery. Maybe if your sponsor lives in the same city as you, you might go grocery shopping together, or your action partner, or whomever, even anybody in recovery. Because in recovery, it only takes two people to have a meeting, even if it's a mini meeting pushing some shopping carts down the aisle. Now, some members of Financial UA are also members of other fellowships, like Alcoholics Anonymous, Overeaters Anonymous, Al-Anon, or Debtors Anonymous, or any other 12-step fellowship. Now, all of these people may have a lot of difficulty with the interruptions that are happening to their daily routines. I would encourage you, if you are stuck at home or you are self-quarantined, to create a daily home routine for yourself. You can maybe write it out on paper, what your day is going to look like from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep. You can set a gentle wake-up time and bedtime for yourself. You can schedule in a gentle way your meal times throughout the day, writing it all down on a schedule. And you can also schedule in phone meetings throughout the day. When I say phone meetings, I'm talking about recovery phone meetings, attending 12-step meetings over the phone through conference calls or video chats. You can also schedule outreach calls. You can also schedule time to do interviews if you're currently doing step work in Financial UA or even tradition work in Financial UA. You might need to do some interviews. So you can schedule those throughout the day. You can also schedule time to call your action partner. You can schedule time to connect with your prosperity team or your PRG team. You can also schedule time to call your sponsor on a daily basis. And since we live in recovery in a one-day-at-a-time world, you can consider checking in every single day. What would it look like if you had a PRG every single day of the week for 1 week straight? Or if you had a prosperity team meeting or an action meeting or checked in with your sponsor every single day of the week, what would that look like? Probably it would look pretty awesome. Now remember, the more people you check in with, the more opportunities you have to stay connected and the more you can channel your spiritual power. Remember, recovery is a team sport and we get better in relationships with other people. You might also consider writing a gratitude list of all the positive things that you have, a list of everything that is good. If you're able, you might go outside and take a walk, since in most places it is still allowed to go outside to take a walk, and just be in nature for a while, just to feel the sunshine on your skin, just to feel the wind blow, just to feel the rain if it's falling. It's easy to appreciate the small things, especially when the big things are a little bananas right now, a little crazy out there. It's time to appreciate the small things because the small things are always going to be there for you. Consider watching a sunrise or a sunset. Again, it's those little simple pleasures in life that nobody can ever take away from you. You might spend this downtime creating a vision board for yourself, or writing a bucket list of all the things you want to do with the rest of your life once things mostly go back to normal. You might also consider this as a timeout where you can reevaluate the things that really are the most important to you in your life and also build a vision of how you would like to overhaul your life moving forward, since right now we have this opportunity for a fresh start. And you have an opportunity to do things different, looking forwards and moving forwards. You might also consider reaching out and connecting with any friends or loved ones who might be suffering with the cough, and try to channel your loving higher power, your loving healing power, channeling empathy or compassion to them. You can consider it to be 12-step work where you're carrying the message to the person who still suffers. There are lots more ideas. What ideas do you have? Well, this leads to an opportunity for you to take a share. So now's the time for sharing. Who'd like to take a share? In the comments section below, please share your experience, strength, and hope around what strategies were you going to use? What ideas do you have to put in place for how you're going to take care of yourself and take care of your recovery during this national or global healthcare time? All this downtime that we have where people are social distancing, self-quarantining, or isolating, how are you going to use this time constructively to come up with positive solutions, creative ideas to solve other people's problems, or even to solve little issues of your own? What kind of positive actions are you going to take? Leave your ideas and suggestions and strategies in the comments section below. Also, what strategies have you already tried? What things work best for you? What would you do different? Share about it below. Remember that when you share, other people can learn from your experience, because in recovery, everybody's a student and everybody is a teacher. So share in the section below. By the way, if you want to help this channel, you might also consider clicking the subscribe button and subscribe to the Financial UA YouTube channel. When you subscribe to our channel, it allows us to carry the message. Also, if these strategies and ideas are useful, you might consider clicking the like button and give us a big thumbs up to let us know that our ideas, our strategies are good strategies and maybe they're going to be really helpful for you. Lastly, like I said in the beginning of the video, now I want to mention a special announcement. If you are experiencing any kind of financial hardship during this time of social distancing, job loss, small business shutdown, or whatever, I know it's a little bonkers out there, but if you're having any difficulty with your finances, I want to remind you that Financial UA has a number of scholarships available for the Financial UA 12-step workbook, as well as the Financial UA Traditions workbook. So if you are experiencing any kind of financial hardship and you would like to get a copy of either one of these workbooks so you can participate better in our meetings and workshops, I want to encourage you to send us an email at financialua@gmail.com. Send us an email, it'll stay anonymous, and simply ask for a scholarship, and we will be most happy to provide one for you. You can ask for the STEP workbook or the Traditions workbook, or hey, if you are experiencing financial hardship, you can even ask for both if you need both. I also want to mention that Financial UA has active meetings and workshops every single day of the week, 7 days a week. Right now we have 2 meetings or workshops a day. On some days we have 3. And we also have additional meetings and workshops in the pipeline that are going to be started in the next couple days or in the next couple weeks. So we're moving closer and closer to having 2 to 3 meetings every single day of the week. And since our meetings are currently phone meetings, that means that all of our meetings and workshops are active and they are being held according to schedule. So if you are lonely, if you feel disconnected from your higher power, simply reach out, call on to the phone line, and you can be a part of the phone meeting with us. Our website is financialua.org. You can check out our meeting days and times, the actual schedule directory. If you go on our website, look under the Welcome tab, and hover over the Welcome tab, you'll see a drop-down menu. And on the drop-down menu, it'll say Meetings and Workshops Days and Times. If you click on that, it will open up the meeting directory, so you can see all the times and days at which the meetings and workshops are held. Last, I also want to say that I want to wish each and every one of you a safe, serene, healthy, and prosperous today and tomorrow. Please take good care of yourself physically and spiritually. Remember, people in recovery need more self-care than the average person in society. We need to take care of ourselves on a number of different levels, spiritually, emotionally, physically. So whatever that looks like for you as self-care, I want to encourage you to bump it up, double that if you can. and take really good care of yourself. And I want you to know that I'm thinking about each one of you. I'm praying for each one of you. All of us here in Financial UA are a fellowship. We are a community. And I've seen tremendous things in how we care for each other. We look out for each other and we support each other in a positive way. And also, we do the same thing in other fellowships as well. So all the love we have for you in Financial UA, feel free to share that love to members of other fellowships, because we all need love. We all need healing. We all need support. And hopefully we all need to keep coming back. So I want to encourage you to keep coming back, and I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope these strategies and ideas are helpful to you. And with all that said, I would like to invite you to say the prosperity prayer with me as a way of getting healthy spiritual closure. Let's do that prayer. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, the wisdom to know the difference, and the prosperity to afford it. Thanks so much for watching this video. Remember to subscribe and click the like button, give us a big thumbs up, and most importantly, keep coming back. And of course, wash your hands. Remember to wash your hands, cover your mouth, cough into your elbow, you know all that stuff. And by the way, in the description box below, I'm also going to leave a link for the United States Center for Disease Control. So if you want to check out their website to see the most up-to-date and accurate information about the cough, you can click on that link to check it out. Take care of yourself. Keep coming back.
God grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, courage to change the things we can, wisdom to know the difference, and the prosperity